designandmake.com. We thought this would be a good opportunity to take you for a walk through the In the Magical Garden project. I'm going to show you where to find all of your content and then also give you some great tips and tricks on how to use all of the content that comes along with this project. This model project is like all of our other model projects. It comes with some assembled layouts, all the models that you need to make almost any layout, and then a project sheet. But we've also included a little extra magic. We have 3 coloring pages and a PDF filled with 6 pages of cutouts that your kids can cut out and have a lot of fun exploring. This project is available to anybody who has a verified Design and Make account. Just go over to our Design and Make store and log into your account. Have a look at your free products tab. In there you can scroll down and quickly download your free project. Once you've downloaded and installed your project, you'll just need to open up your Vectric software and create a new file. Go ahead and set up your job the way you need it and click OK. Go over to your Clipart tab and have a look inside your Design and Make folder. If you scroll down to In the Magic Garden, you'll see all of the content that comes with your project listed below. You've got your assembled layouts, all of your single models, your coloring pages, and your project sheet. Now what you won't see is the cutout PDF. In order to access that, you need to hover over any of the content that comes with your project, then right-click and choose Open Containing Folder. This will tell your Windows software to open up your Windows Explorer, and you can have a look through the folder where your project's been installed, and you'll see that it's in your default Vectric clipart library. Here you'll see all of your models, your project sheet, your 3 coloring pages, and then your Magical Garden cutout PDF. If you double click on one of these, you can go ahead and print that from here. That'll just open up your default image viewer and you can print from there. If you'd like to view the PDF, you can do exactly the same by double clicking on that. It'll open up your PDF viewer and you can print your PDF directly from that software. Once you have them printed out, the kids can take them and cut them out. This will be a great little project for them to do. They can use their imagination and come up with their own layouts. Some of them will be quite practical, and some of them, well, maybe not so much. But in the end, they may actually give you some great ideas for your own layouts. The coloring pages are a great way to keep those little hands busy when they have a little bit of extra creative energy they need to get rid of. The first tip I'm going to show you is how to use selective fading to make your projects look much better. So if I go ahead and double click on my garden sign, let's just go ahead and hold down our Shift key and size this down just a little bit. And then while holding down the Alt key, I'm going to slide that to the side. Let's bring in our Hobbit door by double clicking on that. And again, we're just going to hold down our Shift key and size that down. And the idea is that I want to make sure that the base of my Hobbit door sits on the bottom of my garden sign. And we need to make that a little bit smaller, maybe something like that. Now right off the bat, you're going to see that our garden sign has been merging right up through our Hobbit door. Well, how can we fix that without adjusting the shape height of our garden sign? If I do that, what's going to happen is I'm going to squish out some of the detail that I have, and I don't want to do that. So if I double click on my garden sign and then click one more time, you'll see this big solid blue square at the bottom. If I go ahead and left click that, that'll bring up my floating properties dialog box. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my fade. Now typically what I would do is I'd fade from one side of the model all the way across to the other, and that would fade it from here to there. But in this case, I only want to fade between this edge and a little ways in. So if I go ahead and choose fade and set one anchor point right here, and then one right about there, then what I can do is I can turn this up to 100. And that'll hide my sign in behind my Hobbit door. Now to see what happened, if I go ahead to my modeling tab and hide the Hobbit door, you'll see that I've actually faded away the end of my garden sign. Now it's important to keep in mind that this part of the sign is still there. So if I was going to machine just this bit, I need to make sure that I create an appropriate vector to have that work properly for me. And so there you go. Now for my next tip, I'll walk you through one of the layouts that I think worked out really well with all the models that are included with this project. If I go ahead and take a look at the modeling tab, you'll see there's a whole bunch of models listed, but I can only see the large mushroom right now. But as I turn on each one of these, they'll slowly appear into the actual layout, and it will build up as it goes. And that's a pretty exceptional layout. Now, some of the things I've done to make sure this layout really works is I made sure that I can include in it both the Hobbit door and the fairy door. So if I go ahead and hide the fairy door, I can show the Hobbit door, and it fits in there quite nicely. Now you also would have noticed that if I hide the Hobbit door, that these mushrooms actually merge into this large mushroom. And that is on purpose. I knew that they would be covered up by the Hobbit door or the fairy door, depending on which one I selected. One of the other great things about this layout is that I actually tilted in these leaves so that I ended up not having a really high straight wall here that'll help in the end when I go to cut it, and also it'll look really nice when it's all finished. So to take a look at that, if I just look straight down on my composition, if I select that leaf and then click it again and look at my floating properties dialog, you'll see that I have tilted that into place. If I turn this up on its edge and I turn off the tilt, you'll see that when I brought in that leaf, I just added enough base height so that it would peak up above this mushroom in the background. Then by adding a bit of tilt to it, I can go ahead and tilt it up so that the stem of it sits nicely on that bottom step, and it looks really great in the end. It never hurts to add in little extras like these leaves in the background, just to add a little bit more sort of feel and complexity to the layout, and it won't take too much longer to cut because those are there. I'm not sure if this is technically a tip or a trick. We're going to call it a trick for now. So if you go and take a look at the content that you get with the In the Magical Garden project, you'll see that you've got these coloring pages here. Now, these are great, obviously, to color, and the kids will enjoy those, or maybe you will too. But let's say we wanted to use those and actually convert them into something that we could use for V-carving. Well, that's super easy. Let's double click on this first one, and it's automatically brought into our 2D view. With it selected, if you go to your drawing tab, and go ahead and choose Trace Bitmap. Now what we're going to do is we're going to choose the black and white option, and we're just going to scroll down and click Preview. Now I'm just going with whatever settings are here, but you'll need to adjust yours to make sure you get the best result that you can. We're going to click Apply and then Close, and we're going to choose our bitmap, and we're going to delete that out of there. We can select our vectors, we'll right click on those, and we're going to ungroup those back onto the original layer. We'll unselect everything, and then we'll just delete out the bits that we don't want. And now what we can do is select all of that, and just as a very basic example, I'm just going to go ahead and create some really fast V-carving using those vectors, and we'll calculate that. And if we preview our visible toolpaths, you'll see that you've got a great V-carving project. I'll be doing a live question and answer on Design and Make's Instagram feed on Wednesday, April the 8th. If you have any questions at all, please put them in the comments below or put them on any of our social platforms, and we'll be sure to try and answer them. If you happen to watch this video after the live event has already happened, still put your comments below. We're always checking for them. I hope you have fun, keep making, and most importantly, keep safe.